on. I'm growing it. I'm just trying to grow. I'm getting more and more confidence, getting more and more ideas to post and give more content and give more posts and give more, obviously more updates regularly. But for now, I'm just content with how I'm going. I'm personally a content creator. I love social media. This is one of the social media. I'm new speaking, so obviously just giving my own relatable effects to my own channel. Sometimes I promote things. I do go out, cover events, but mostly it's short. It's just spur of the moment, things that I can find interesting, that I feel people would relate to. So obviously my background, I'm Nigerian. I'm a university student. While I'm here, I'm undergoing a lot of creative revelation, creative ideas. So hopefully any creative that relates to this could like, share, and subscribe. Obviously we're all here together, all the family, so anything you find interesting, if it relates to you, you can like, share, and subscribe. I like entertainment. I do random things, and it's just for fun, but hopefully you can have fun watching and engaging and enjoying what you see here. So that's a bit about me and my channel. Okay, back guys. So obviously it's your content creator, or the content creator here, with another review video coming in the series I've been doing the past few days, giving Nollywood Yoruba movie reviews from latest movies, past movies, blockbuster movies that have been coming out recently that I've been catching up on, scripted movies, scripted televised shows. A lot of entertainment has been coming out, a lot of media products, promotion has been coming out for a lot of bestsellers, blockbusters. So I've been doing reviews in the past few videos, talking about my best videos, movies I've watched, my personal faves, classics, and things you can catch up on that are now available on platforms for everybody to catch up on and watch and subscribe to and everything. So it's actually an endorsement. I'm happy for the positivity it's given to my channel. It's something I relate to. I really like this this content. I really like this conversation. It's fine for me to like get take my mind, get interested in things that I usually do, like watching movies. I prefer indigenous movies. I prefer Yoruba movies, my language type of movies, as I've said. So obviously this is just something that I'm taking conversation about, and I hope you like it. We're just doing this just for fun. It's just something I'm just interested in at the time, giving summary about interesting movies. Obviously everybody loves movies, everybody loves entertainment. Giving my point of view, giving an opinion about things I've been watching and I'm getting into. So this is another video in the review series. I've done two. This is the next one. Around this time I was thinking of, okay, what can I review, what movie have I watched lately, which other one is a hot topic. And I was just thinking, like, we have so many entertainers, we have so many global actresses in Nigeria coming out of Nollywood, a lot of really good stars, a lot of really good celebrities, multi-million-dollar mega stars, entertainers, all over in this Instagram, all over social media, a lot of like content creators, a lot of producers, a lot of industry cats, mega stars on the internet. And I'm just thinking, like, there's a lot of entertainers that are not even highlighted. We have a lot of entertainers that have a bucket load, enormous catalog of videos under their belt. We have seasoned veterans, we have Olu Jacobs, we have Joka Silva, we have young stars, Regina Daniels. We have so many artists, we have so many entertainers, and I just feel like, okay, which one have I thought of that, which one is it, which one is currently trailblazing, which one is currently like bringing a lot of media buzz, which one is currently like inviting, excelling, in her career and her craft. And I really wanted to highlight and promote a woman, because I do love female moguls, I do love female mentors, I do love female bosses. And I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to think, okay, who has really entertained me recently? And the first name that came to my head is a household name, one of the biggest, probably the the biggest thespian in the League of Nollywood entertainers, the biggest female actress out of Nollywood, out of both home indigenous and foreign language Nigerian movies, one of our biggest mega stars, platform queen, product queen, project queen, many endorsements later, one of the global faces of many brands, has created a culture out of her own characters, out of her own comedic talent, out of her own craft. Is a global superstar. And just the first name that came to my head that is a really successful entertainer is Funke Akindele. And I was like, okay, I've watched so many Funke Akindele movies. I think I've watched a lot. She's someone that I grew up watching as of a child, even right from my teens. My biggest movie that I first watched was obviously Jenifa growing up. And I'm like, okay, so I've watched a lot of her movies, both popular and underrated. I've watched a lot, and I think she's somebody who has really classified and really brought indigenous culture out. She's a comedic genius. She's a chameleon actress. She has so many characters, diverse personalities. She's a presenter. Like her personality itself, the way she highlights, the way she taps into you can't really touch her elegance. You can't really touch the way she taps into satirical, like sister, if you want to say, how Yoruba people say sisi, auntie kind of life, that kind of personality, auntie kind of aura. That's her aura. Like, she really gives me auntie, like sisi kind of. I love her. She's just untouchable. She's ageless and she's beautiful. I really enjoyed growing up on her. Like, a lot of her home movies I watched as a young person. I've watched her in different scenes, in different character types. She's so blessed, and she's so cheerful, and she's so good-natured. I just feel like she's a blessed individual. Her craft is awesome. She makes us laugh the most. She's produced many multi-million-dollar projects. She has given a name to Yoruba comedic, female comedic entertainment. Somebody who is a sensual female entertainer. Not actually giving like a presence to a female comic, Nigerian comedic entertainer. So I really love her for that. I just glorified. She's just one of the the most relatable women on the internet. I've been watching her all my life as a teen. I watched a lot of her movies as her home movies were available. She's even transcended, even giving me, as I was even able to nurture, to even brush up my own Yoruba language, and even engage in her personality, in her actions, in her own language, in her own in her own character references, in her own jokes, in her own one-liners. It taught me a lot of Yoruba captions and things like that. So I really love her. I love her movies are available on all platforms. She even has a YouTube channel where you can view her movies, her own personal projects, her own upcoming movies and old movies, fan TV on YouTube. She's been celebrated since back in the day. She has a really good catalog of movies. She's great to work with, and she's a multifaceted producer, director, writer, and script writer, and all that. So she's excellent. I just feel like she goes she goes stereotyped as overhyped. Sometimes people say she's overhyped, but if you watch her, you would know that she performs what is actually a caliber, quality, like comedic relief. She gives a real comedic relief, so she's not really overhyped. And I grew up watching her movies. I love her character, the original characters and depictions, they're very funny, they're very relatable to a Yoruba person like me, growing up in Lagos, seeing other characters like that. This is how people actually are, breaking stereotypes and all that. She really does that. So yeah, I'm just going to go through a list of some of the best movies that I've watched from Funke that I really enjoyed, that are really good, that I've been watching. Give you a list of a few movies that I really enjoyed, that a review of some of her best movies that I personally call as favorites. And yeah, I'll just be discussing them and giving their pros, highlights and everything. So the first movie on my list that I really enjoyed from Funke Akindele's catalog is a movie that came out in 2009 called Akpadi. It's starring herself, Funke, Femi Adebayo, Yinka Quadri, Taiwo Hassan, Runke Odushola, and a host of other actors and actresses in the movie. It's set in like a rural, village in the southwest. It has some kind of, indigenous, historical kind of elements, but because these are some notable characters, they're bringing contemporary, they're still bringing contemporary, current kind of manners and performance to it, so you don't feel too stuck in the past, you don't feel too bored. Yeah, in the movie she portrayed, I think this is one of her most serious characters. She portrayed, a sister of a prince in the village. She gave a lot of, what do you call it, a lot of spiritual, a lot of proverbs and things like that. It's a bit wise for her to do that. Normally she's a comedic person. She gave a lot of proverbs and things like that in the movie. And yeah, it's a really good performance by her. She doesn't usually go for like a somber performance. I like the movie. It wasn't too complex. It had, a lot of, spiritual, supernatural things, but it's actually a good movie. I really love watching her in that role. I think that's a very diverse role for her. It was portrayed well. I think with her and Femi Adebayo, they have a lot of chemistry on screen. They generally get together. They have a really good chemistry together. I've seen in other movies that she has done with him. They have a really good, camaraderie in movies, so it was good to watch two of them. Other super entertainers like Yinka Quadri and others, they're also very excellent casted in the movie. Yeah, it was a really good movie. I really enjoyed her there. It's one of the older ones from the headship of one of her old producers that is a mega name, has been a fundamental, like a legend in the industry, Olasco Films. So it's really reminiscent. It's really a reflection. It's really like takes me back. I really enjoyed watching it. And yeah, it's available on YouTube. It's available on streaming platforms for everybody to watch and relive. So that's the first one in the list of movies I really enjoyed from Funke. The next movie I really enjoyed from Funke is Aye Olomokan, which came out 2009. And if you have seen some viral shots on TikTok, you've seen some viral shots on YouTube, on the internet, you would have seen this video where there's this girl who is there's this clip of Funke talking to someone, and she's talking about mi ole sunje kiniko, and she was saying something about gave her husband meat pie and and the way they went back and forth. She and in the film she's portrayed as a sport brat, so in the clip is showing her in her sport brat element, complaining to her mother that she can't feed her husband. This is what she and the clip is so funny, like it literally has been going viral. I saw it on TikTok around Christmas. It's from this film. This film is so funny. Yeah, it has set a lot of trends. I think that a lot of these movies, like old classic movies, they bring a lot of cultural references. People are still engaging in them, sharing them and everything. Yeah, so in this movie, Funke portrays an only child who is raised by a single mother who has to, has no boundaries, she has no rules, she has no home training, a typical sports brat, in her house. She's spoiled, she doesn't wash her underwear, they feed her with a tray, they cook her food, they drive her everywhere, she's in university, she doesn't stay in the campus, a typical sports, young girl, spoiled only child. So yeah, in the movie it's showing how like she's living, her mom can't cope, but they cuddle her, they spoil her. She plays such a funny way of like a sissy or like a babe. I think that's her natural personality. Like, she's not in character, she's giving like her natural energy, like, the way she responds, the way she just carries herself, like, she's so funny. You would, if you know like somebody who is very spoiled and like acts like a tyrant, you will be able to relate to that character. It's very funny. She's in in the process of trying to come out of coming of age. She wants to get married. She comes across a guy who's played by Ricardo Agbo, who's also notable in her movies. She finds someone, the guy's good looking, he's attractive, but he's a traditional Yoruba guy. He wants a homemaker, he wants these things. She cannot cook, but she makes up a deception. She tells him white lies that she's an excellent cook, about her home cooking and everything. She portrays herself as a well-mannered, well brought up person, when that's not really the case. She rushes into the relationship, they get married. She doesn't know what she's getting into. When she gets there, she has challenges having to provide meals and everything. It's so funny. Her friend that some of her colleagues, her friends that give her advice, she has to beg them to cook and provide food and deceive him that she's engaging in cooking and preparing meals when she's really not, to keep up a deception. The man finds out that she's not the perfect Stepford wife he thought she was. Ends up coming up with a plan with the mother that's maybe to make her jealous. He pretends as if he's ending the relationship and he's living with one of the maids in her mother's house, just to make her jealous. It gives her a lot of shock. It's a very funny, like, complex. It has a lot of like comedic, how when you're watching and they feel like maybe they're like conniving or they're in cahoots, that kind of thing, but she's unaware because she's a very naive person. It makes her, go back to her house. It gives her reflection. It gives her some growing to do. She now finally tries to make changes. She gets, trained. She goes asking some of her cooks to teach her to cook. She wants the lesson. She wants to grow into womanhood properly and try to win back her relationship. She goes to many lengths. She changes her life. She becomes more modest, becomes more, homemaking, she learns the skills she needs to be, take care of her home and marriageable and everything, marriage material, of course. So, she's ready, she's sober, and then when she goes back to, try to, work things out with the man, he sees her changes, they reconcile, and he himself has to confess to her. Everybody now comes together and tells her, there was never any infidelity, to relieve her, it was just a prank so that she can grow up and change, he really loves her, and he did that just so that she can feel, just she can learn the errors of her ways. And it's like it has a lot of funny jokes. It has a lot of funny acting. Imagine a person begging a friend to bring food. Imagine a man going to meet the maid to pretend as if he's dating. It was very funny. The mother cannot. It's a funny movie. It's actually a laugh. It just shows her, like, back then she was literally a city babe. She was just carefree. It shows how maybe some people that are trying to to maybe relate or trying to understand singlehood, or understand parenting, understand the coming of age, or maturity, you know, as a young person in Lagos and all that, different backgrounds, you would understand, you'll be able to watch that and relate. It's a very funny movie. Yeah, I think the energy, some of the other characters in the movie, Remi Oshodi, Shola Kosoko, yeah, a few others in the movie as well, really gave a good performance. It has a good reconciliation ending, you know, a good happy ending between the two. I really liked it. It's one of her funniest performances. Yeah, if you watch the movie, you know that her husband is also one of those players. He's one of those playboys. Generally, you know, he's a good looking guy, so I feel like she had jitters. She wanted to rush into a relationship, and if you watch it and you're single, you can learn lessons from that. It's a very good movie. I really enjoy it. Yeah, and the lesson, you know, the ending is good, it's warm, you see a girl grow up, and it has a good, you know, it's funny, it has a good vibe and everything. It's a light watch, you can watch it briefly, it's only under 2 hours. It's a funny movie. I really enjoy it. It's one of her classics, it's one of her throwbacks, you know, these are all throwback movies. And yeah, it's a very good one. Brings memories, brings back reflections, you know, old times. It takes back to a long time ago when I used to watch it on home movies, watch all these old movies at home and all that. The message is still lasting, you know, it's still as funny as ever. And yeah, you can watch it on all platforms, and it's another good one under her belt. And I'll think about a few others and I'll come back. Thank you. Okay, so another movie that is really good that came out in 2018, that was a very huge movie, a huge hit, was Chief Daddy. I watched this on Netflix in 2018. It was a very successful, popular movie. It trended a lot. Heard about it. I went to pick out my my Netflix and my subscription and watch it. It's actually really good. Starring Funke, Bisola Ayeola, Dakare, Akande, Zainab Balogun, Shafi Bello, Iniedo, of course, Ihoma, Linda Ejiofor, Fowles, and a lot of other, Kate Henshaw, a lot of other huge and popular entertainers. Yeah, this movie was obviously trending on socials. I heard about it, a lot of famous actresses. There was a lot of promotion for it, so I ended up watching it. It has a huge budget from Ebony Life TV. Yeah, it was a very hype-worthy movie. I watched it on Netflix that time that Nigerian movies were coming out on Netflix a lot. Yeah, Funke was in it. It's a movie surrounding a billionaire who dies at a function. His family is dispersed. He has a number of illegitimate children, and they have a whole, you know, lot of, you know, family members and unknown kids and everything. So when the man passes away, he brings the whole family together. There's a lot of confusion about the will, you know, it's a drama about a family and mystery, you know, getting to know the family members, you know, obviously the confusion about the will, you know, they competing for the will and all these things of the fortune inheritance and all that. It's actually a funny movie, it's not serious. There's this show, Castle and Castle. Some of the characters from that show, which is a popular Nigerian series, are it's like a spin-off, are featured in this movie, such as the lawyer from Castle and Castle, who is the matriarch of one of the children of the patriarch of the family, Dakare Akinde. She normally plays the Remy Castle in the Castle and Castle, so she's now in this movie as the Remy Castle, who is the lawyer doing the probate for the will. And it's funny because she did a spin-off, you know, that's a spin-off from the same mother production company of that movie, the production company of the movies, of that TV show, of that series of movies. So it's a sister movie. It's a very interesting movie. It's good. Yeah, it has a lot of comedic effects. A lot of comedic actors, a lot of actors are funny in it. There's Beverly Naya, lots of studied actors and performers, really interesting. Funke plays a very wealthy character, one of the children, who is very, has a chip on her shoulder. She's a sister, her name is Tinu Beecroft. She plays that character, sister to another character played by Kate Henshaw, who is also one of the sisters, descending from one of his marriages that the patriarch had before he died, played by Kate as Tenny Beecroft. It's a very interesting movie. The two of them are at odds against the entire family. They're like the other sisters in the family, so they have a lot of say. They're trying to keep up, calm everybody down. They're trying to catch schemes and disperse any plot and any suspicions and all that, while also being funny, also being comedic. So it's a very funny movie. It had a huge budget. I can see that there was a lot of actors, a lot of personalities, performers in it, so it was really good. I watched it. I think she was excellent in it. She played a very high-powered lawyer, a power figure, a high earning, a corporate, figure. She's just, she played like, one of those high. Obviously, she's a high end, high powered person. But she played such a character in the movie. She separated from her character. She was funny. I personally didn't think that there were some characters that were not really needed. Some outshone the others. But I like the chemistry between all of them. You have Funke, you have Dakore, you have Iniedo. It was really funny. It's picked up very well. And I like the synergy from having a previous series, Castle, which had a character who was made into another character in this movie. So it was really good. I enjoyed it, and I think Funke was one of the most leading entertaining figures in the movie. She was really interesting. I love her performance in it. We've all heard of Chief Daddy. You can still catch it on Netflix, you can catch it on streaming platforms, and it's one of those like family-oriented movies showing African families, showing African, parenthood, for African family traits, African family units, such as, what they call it, polygamy and all these things in a positive light in a Nigerian household. So it's very funny. A lot of people who have, past, who have such familiar homes or familiar family setups would be able to relate. I found it very interesting, and it's a good movie. Funke is one of the best in the movie, and it's a big budget with big actresses, and I think she played her part very well, so I really liked it. So that's a very good movie that I watched. Another movie that is a hit, the biggest hits, I think that's the definitive movie that gave us a glimpse into the mind of the mind behind the mogul, the mind behind the energy, the mind of of a typical of a persona that all of us are aware of, all of us have familiarized with, as the Lagos persona, one of the biggest hits, one of the biggest images of Funke that we all grew up watching, that gave us, a comedic effect, give us even a look at ourselves, give us a lot of sayings, also slangs and everything, was obviously Jenifa. That's one of the biggest movies out of her string of hits. It's a very, very funny movie. It's involved, I think that is the mark where that she became a household name, stemming from that movie. It was in every, home, everybody watched it. It's one of my favorites. I keep watching and watching it. It's so entertaining. The length of the movie does not even encompass, the comical scenes. It doesn't even it doesn't even qualify the number of laughs you can have in the entire movie. Like, it's a very, very good movie. Yeah, obviously we've all heard of Jenifa. We all know Funke as Jenifa. She has made so many spin-offs. She's made so many monies, you know, so much money and so many marketing, you know, moves from that character. The character has been popularized everywhere. That's obviously, I think that's that is a copyrighted character for her. You know, I think that has a copyright with her. It's a very excellent, as in that's one of the most popular familiar movies we can, you know, remember from her. Yeah, it started the age of Jenifa. A lot of spin-offs came from that. Watching Jenifa again still gives me a laugh. You know, we know about the village girl aesthetic now. We know about, you know, the village make it to break it. You know, it's just a funny movie. It gives us even a lot of songs. They gave a lot of quotes from that movie, you know, city girls, city boys, you know, very funny movie. Yeah, it trended off of, you know, a localized character. She played a stereotype. It's funny as hell. You know, I personally, obviously, everybody laughed at Jenifa, and we thought it was just, a humble beginning. But yeah, we saw how everything has come out to be, you know, just coming from this character and just what she embodied in the character. Yeah, obviously, watching Jenifa again is still funny. You remember the first time you watch it, a lot of notable characters in it, like Iyabo Joe, Runke Odusanya, and Yola Badmus has big scales. Where the term big scales come from. Some songs came from that movie also that time. A lot of quotes came from that movie. A lot of music, lyrics came from that movie. Yeah, obviously Jenifa is true to, obviously is dear to my heart. Anytime I want to laugh, I feel down, I watch Jenifa. Funke, you know, acted her ass off. She played, you know, rough-head character. She just made it, you know, I got to be big. We know all the lines, got to be big. Ayi Kutorokon, Funke, Jenifa Kon, Ayi Torokon, you know, everything. It was funny as hell. It's a cult classic. Obviously, I think people know Funke from this Jenifa character, and the way she speaks as Jenifa is very different from where she is as a woman today. But I still lovingly watch Jenifa because it reminds me of a long time ago when, you know, things were simple, you know, the message was funny, and yeah, in Nigeria at that time was so different. You know, even the quality of the cinema was different, but the heartwarming message, the funny, you know, characters and everything was perfect timing, you know, for where Nollywood was going to go with her and her endeavors and everything. So yeah, Jenifa is funny as hell. Still getting clips on videos on TikTok, on different platforms, you know, from the movie. Yeah, it got a lot of you know, a lot of positive, you know, a lot of even trends, you know. Yeah, a lot of fads, a lot of fashion fads. Yeah, a lot of you know, aesthetics, you know, vibes, you know, even the bush, you know, the familiarization, you know, the Lagos look, you know, the common man look, you know, casual look, as in just everything about the movie is a total fad. Very funny movie. It's a hit. It's still a hit. Jenifa is known everywhere. Jenifa is a cult classic. It's a national treasure. Obviously she's not a national treasure because of that role. Yeah, it's a great movie. So being that it's so old, we couldn't really watch everything all together on, you know, all platforms, but now it's available. It's good to catch up with it, to laugh. It's just a hearty laugh. It has a lot of chaos. It has, you know, a central character. The message is just to have fun. Just the message is as funny as ever, you know. Yeah, it gives a lot of, you know, memories, it's still trending. She still keeps making money off of it. She still keeps making and reliving the moment, and it's trademarked, so we can't even go there with her. I wouldn't know how much Jenifa has even grossed to date. I wouldn't even be able to guess. It's an awesome, it's funny. It gives you a lot of comic relief. We have just grown to love, the character of Jenifa. Everybody looked like that back then. It's fun to look back and even picture yourself as that person. It's a very funny, obviously one of her major roles. It has a lot of spin-offs, Jenifa's Diary, another one, Return of Jenifa, which came out 2011. That one is obviously the next spin-off from the Jenifa, string of movies. Jenifa, Return of Jenifa, I think obviously it wasn't as popular as obviously the original Jenifa, but it had a lot of characters in it. It had Derele, Mercy Aigbe, Kafi, a lot of familiar faces, a lot of cameos. It's also just trying to round up the storyline of Jenifa. I think obviously, given that we ended the plot as a hanging plot in the original Jenifa, with the HIV, her getting AIDS, her having catching a communicable disease, and the message of having her promiscuous ways catching up with her. We didn't know where it would end. It as a cliffhanger, but Return of Jenifa was funny. It brought her back. It left us with the question of whether her AIDS is genuine, or whether she's the conclusion of what her health issue is, and it made light of the situation of the HIV/AIDS discussion from the previous movie. It's a very funny movie. It's a sequel. A lot of energy. I feel like the Return of Jenifa, it's just played on making the name more popular. It's still as funny. I don't think Jenifa is going to be a character that can die, that can outlive its own popularity. But I do enjoy the fact that she was able to read the room. She gave us a very funny sequel. I think the use of a lot of popular entertainers in the movie was good for publicity. The big scale aesthetic. We saw even the return of her old foe, Ireti Osayemi, who was so funny in the first movie, one of my favorite characters, even though she plays a villain. We see how Jenifa struggles, continue trying to progress as a society girl, make it in Lagos, make it in Africa and everything. A very funny movie, funny message. I like reliving these movies. They remind me a lot of simple times, of old times. They're funny. Another movie, I haven't watched the series Jenifa's Diary, but we see the rise of Jenifa. We see the money making, the makings of a star. A very funny movie. I really relate with it. It's one of her big movies that came out. I just remember Return of Jenifa being just being full of celebrities, just being talked about, trending. So I watched it, piqued my interest. It's like, okay, another fame, hungry, another funny movie and everything. So that's another one we can always remember, we can refer back to. It's on her channel on YouTube, Fan TV. So she has a lot of funny commercial hits. Obviously we see her as a comedic genius. She played a number of roles, and that's another one that is good from the string of Jenifa movies that she made a lot of people laugh from, and brought a lot of memories out. So Yeah, that's another one. Another one that is very funny from Funke is Omogeto, which came out in 2010, and has a sequel. I think Omogeto is I don't know. I think it's versatile because she played two characters in one. She played a very rough, a very crude character. She played a thug, a ghetto, was an ghetto. She played, an ghetto in the village, in the hood, a hood chick, and then she also played, a decadent, society girl. The movie shows, a ghetto, a thug in the ghetto, a wild child who played by Funke, who is trying to struggle, it starts Funke Akindele she plays a ghetto character, like comedic, street girls, street hustler, in the streets. She plays that character. It's a funny character. She plays like an uncouth, uncivilized, vulgar character. She has a crew of other fellow gang members, Lefty, Bimbo, Thomas, Beniola Badmos as usual. Others in the movie include Iretio Sayemi, also in the movie. It has a lot of characters. She's in a notorious gang. She lives a rough life, doing all sorts of criminal activities, all sorts of, thuglicious, thugnificent, thug mistress kind of affairs, living a wanton life. She doesn't have a father or mother. She runs a lot of streets. It's a funny comical movie in the ghetto. Meanwhile, there's another person who is played by her as well. It ends up being her identical twin, who is a sheltered young lady who was never reconciled with her twin, never reconciled with her birth parents. The person is having some crisis, sickness. It ends up being that there's some blood issue. She has some kind of health issue. She doesn't have an identical or matching donor. Having a health scare, a spiritual scare, because obviously the other person who is obviously her blood, the twin is having similar challenges, and it's affecting them spiritually. They have to have some medical issues. Funke has her gang. They get into a lot of trouble. Medical circumstances bring the two together. They do some blood tests, end up finding out that they're long lost sisters. It's funny. She plays two characters at once, giving Parent Trap, very funny. She has some, they have some intervention, reconciliation. They find out that from the same parents are separated at birth. It shows the society clash of two different stereotypes, mixing of the poor and the rich, different, her representing is two different identities, a rich person and a poor, a street person, a clash of cultures. It's Yoruba, obviously. It has lots of funny jokes, lots of funny skits. I think a lot of skits even reference that, the whole Askamaya bees, the whole squad, that kind of thing. It's a very funny reference. It shows how they meet. The sisters meet never to part again. Their parents had a lot of inputs in their separation. One lived a dangerous life, one lived a sheltered life. Their medical crisis brought them together. They find out they have the same blood. They find out they're biological. They end up meeting, and it has a good ending. Obviously, Anya Badmus is a very funny character. I think she and Funke are just a pair, always together. Every time you see Funke, see Eniola running their mouth, running the streets. It's very, very funny. The movie was very popular at that time. I think that time it was so kind of underbuzzed. It was just on YouTube. Everybody watched it. It was okay. It was just a run of regular movie that came out, but it ended up having a sequel in 2020, which came out December 2020. It was very good in the cinema. That one was more developed. It took a lot of the storyline further. It developed a lot of the characters. It brought a lot of new stars. Choma Akpota was in the movie. Deyemi Akonlawon was also in the movie. Akanani was in the movie. A lot of new, obviously, a lot of new celebrities were in the movie. They developed the storyline further to show more about the lives of the sisters, showing them today, as they've come to live with the mother of the long lost sister who is rich, which Funke plays. That character, it now develops the characters, how they're still leading their lives, but Omogeto, who is Ayomide, the ghetto twin, still cannot live her devious life, still going to the streets, mixing with different characters. They bring in, a lover who is Femi, played by Deyemi Akonlawon. They get into a mix of trouble, they have scamming elements, because a lot of scamming has been happening in Nigeria at that time. A lot of cyber fraud is introduced in the movie. It's funny. Akanani plays the scammer. They try to scam foreigners. A lot of funny elements. So they end up in the police. Just funny, making light of comedy. There's a kidnapping issue. Funke gets double-crossed and betrayed by the lover, Femi Stone, over some bad deals. It's her twin that, obviously, who is trying to, is trying to run her home and marry and just live up to society expectations. Still has to get help her, come to her aid, try and come into her aid, to intercede, get into the whole dangerous situation, because obviously the blood, the love they have between each other is thicker than any situation. It shows their connection. No matter how much trouble Ayomide gets into, her twin will always come to her rescue. It shows the dangerous elements of Lagos. Life in Lagos. The struggle between social classes, the rich class versus the street class, class discrepancies, social status differences. The rich person, her boyfriend is is wealthy. She lives in a wealthy, privileged life. The rich twin, meanwhile Amide, she has a gangster boyfriend. Her in her hustle, having fun, being herself, hiding her, living a double life, hiding her, her nature, giving into the streets while still being part of her new family with her mother, and her sister who are rich. It's a very funny movie, really good. Eniola's character was so funny. The thing is, normally Eniola is literally giving big scales, is giving lots of drama, even all this big scales, energy and everything, but her character is more like a mature, ringleader, calm. She was like just giving like ringleader energy, very funny. She's always in a boss position. She has given them scale. It's now time to do ruthless. She has to give it's now giving mature ringleader kind of vibe. So I like the two of them in the movie, and others in the movie, a lot of cameos. Very funny movie, very quality production. Funke's character is always versatile. She gives different energy. She gives versatility, multifaceted characters. She's good with character development. As a producer, she's always on top of her game. The other characters are funny equally. She even brought Chioma Akpota, who is just a comedic element, just to give that effect. And others in the movie, it was a Christmas movie, like Christmas entertainment. It was a really good movie. The cinema was packed. Everyone was laughing. People are by buying into the the storyline. She has extended the character again. You know, she has 9 lives. All her characters have 9 lives. She can bring more lives, you know, to any character, giving, you know, just making, you know, money off of each character, you know, making them memorable. So I'm really happy about that. It was a blockbuster, and yeah, it was funny, you know. It gave us more, you know, storyline about, you know, the Ghetto. Yeah, it was a good movie. I like her character, you know. She's effortlessly funny, so yeah, it's always enjoyable to watch her. And that's one of good movies that she has under her belt. And then the last movie that I really love from Funke, which is one of my favorites, I've loved since I was a child, watched growing up back in 2008, came out 2008, 2009, one of her older movies that she produced with the notorious producer she used to always work with. If you've heard of a lot of Nigerian Yoruba movies, you know Olasco Films, who Funke used to partner with, one of the producers in the industry who she was really partnering with, producing with, collaborating with that time, brought a lot of popular movies by Funke, like Akpadi, Ayom Olomokon, Jenifa, coming from that production company. I really love movies from that producer. He's a very good very top of his game producer. Yeah, her partnering with Olasco Films just was a very, very key connection. I liked a lot of their movies. One of a really good ones that she has, I think this is my favorite by far from her, is Taiwo, a very funny movie. It's starring her, Femi Adebayo, and Iyabo Ojo, and a lot of other actors in the movie. I think these are just 3 of my best. Whenever they're together, characters are just amazing. Funke has good connections with Olasco. You know, prior to her blowing up, she had some production hands with them. You know, they made a lot of magic. You know, she has her own production company that time, Scene One, so she was making a lot of behind the scenes moves, directing, producing. I love everything from Scene One and Olasco. They're awesome. So this is Taiwo that was made around that time, over around that beginning time of her career, 2008. The movie is a really good one. It's starring her, Femi Adebayo, and Iyabo Ojo, who are just their chemistry like all together, because obviously Funke and Femi usually have a good chemistry. They usually have an energy together from other movies, generally, and then they have a loving energy, chemistry. And Iyabo and Funke have a rival chemistry, dating back to Jenifa. They're usually rivals. You know, Iyabo was like the ringleader of the group, wouldn't let Funke Jenifa in. In this movie, Iyabo is like scheming against Funke, plotting against her, has ulterior motives against. So they always have an energy, like a rivalry inside of movies. They usually have a tension. I don't know why. Like they usually have a rival chemistry, but in real life, I'm sure they're friends. I hope they're friends, you know, in real life. But yeah, the movie is really, really good. Those 3 were the main characters in the movie. It's the plot is that it's 2 criminal entities, 2 criminal masterminds who partner together. They have the same name, Taiwo and Taiwo. They're both in a relationship. They're now leading criminal lives, you know, engaging criminal activities. They're hired assassins, basically running an operation. You know, in Nigeria is operation. Iyabo is their collaborator. She is like their partner, their accomplice. They run a lot of operations in Lagos, lots of criminal things, making money and doing all that. It just follows their life as they're trying to manage their relationship and doing criminal activities, leading dual lives. They're now trying to, you know, harbor their criminal, the money they make from the criminal activities into building their marriage. They have children, you know, they can't hide their past from their family life. It causes home wrecking. Iyabo is jealous of Funke, who is the money maker, who is also the head of her home. scheming, takes her husband, you know, who is usually her boss, finds her way to, you know, wreck the home, coming as the new, you know, gangmaster and running her own home, taking possession of her children and all that. Meanwhile, Funke, you know, going along with a lot of plans, trying to make money, trying to engage in the hustle, going out of her way for her husband, ends up being injured in an assassination plot. She's having, you know, she's on you know, on a hospital bed. She's trying to recover. Meanwhile, her husband is gallivanting with the yabo and doing the same, you know, notorious lifestyle. Then when she gets back on her feet, she eventually gets healthy. Then she feels revenge, goes after the two of them. They have a whole brawl, you know, shots are fired, you know, physical altercation. They try to kill each other, you know, they breed a lot of enemies. The enemies are trying to find their whereabouts because they've been scheming. It's just a very funny movie, you know. She and Yabo having an entanglement, they're rivaling, you know, jealousy, all these things. It's a very funny movie. It has a good plot ending, it has plot twists. It's not really violent, it's more of just comical, it's more of just action and just intrigue and just thrilling, that kind of thing. It's a really good movie. I really like it. It hasn't really been like one of the bigger ones she's made, but I like the story. It's a comfortable story, and yeah, I like, you know, the character. I like the, you know, the conclusion. I like the people they brought. They have energy, so it's a really funny movie. Yeah, and language generally not a problem. If you watch Yoruba movies, you'll be able to read the subtitles. You can just hang in there. You can understand the body language, so it's just funny, you know. It's a comedy drama. I really like it. Yeah, I like the casting, and yeah, it reminds me of back in the day when you're watching her old movies, you know, her collaborations with old producers who brought her out, that made a lot of good movies. So it's one of my favorites. I really like a lot of her movies. That's just the ones that I've watched. She has a whole bucket load of movies you can check out. She has, you know, a lot of strength of hits under her belt. She's still making more magic. She's still making a lot more contributions to film. She still has another movie coming out that recently just came out within the last year or two. I think yeah, she had another movie. She just recently made a new movie recently that's broadcasted in abroad and worldwide, Battle on Booker Street. So she still having a lot more production, a lot more projects coming up. Yeah, she's a fave in Nollywood. She's one of the biggest entertainers, and I just love her energy. I just love her. I have to celebrate her. I love her as a woman, as a mogul, as everything. Yeah, these are some of her best movies that I like, personal faves. I really like them. They're really good, and maybe you can watch them, review them, and you know, relive your childhood watching the old ones and the new ones as well. I really like her. Yeah, she's a great entertainer, she's a great actress, and yeah, this is just a review of, you know, a lot of movies from her. Yeah, she's one of the ones that I can pinpoint that have like a good catalog, and yeah, she's a fave of mine. So hopefully this review made sense to you. Hopefully you can catch any of the movies and keep supporting her and keep promoting, you know, supporting her craft and supporting her projects in the future, because she's a great entertainer. So anyway, yeah, this is one of my favorite actresses. I'm still doing Nollywood reviews. I'm still building this channel. Hopefully I'll come up with more topics, more conversations that I would have. These are just my own thoughts, things I'm interested in, and hopefully it relates to you. Yeah, it was fun doing this video. Hopefully I bring up more topics, watch a few more movies, or get into more subject matters that I can bring up here. Hopefully you related to this video. Hopefully it made sense, it was funny, you know, it was interesting. If you did like it, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. like the video, share, comment. The channel is growing, so hopefully you can grow with me, and I hope you enjoyed the video. More to come as I'm growing my content, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you more on this platform again. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.